Hey, what's going on, everybody? Straight Respect with another daily high ELO casting. And today's game is extraordinarily special. We have SpamHappy, who's actually the new Riot's featured streamer. I'm really excited about this because Poppy is his signature. He's the one that made it up to, I think he's at like 2,300 something, 2,300 plus ELO with just playing Poppy, literally Poppy alone. If somebody bans Poppy or picks Poppy, he Q dodged. And this was before Q dodging, like when you did Q dodge, it would actually hurt your ELO. You'd go down in ELO for Q dodging. So the fact that he was able to make it up to 2,300 ELO on just Poppy is extremely impressive, and that just shows that, you know, if you like a champion as much as you, I don't know, may like the champion, you can carry them up pretty much regardless of who it is. I mean, Poppy is very, very strong, of course, but it takes that passion, and that's really what does it for SpamHappy. SpamHappy loves playing Poppy. This Poppy with Janna combo is going to make Poppy run even faster, which is going to be absolutely insane. I mean, Poppy with Ghost and the 3% passive movement speed from Tailwind is phenomenal. And then you add Shen in the mix, and Shen can ult the Poppy, give her a huge shield. Poppy is just going to be really, really scary this game. And it looks like she's going mid. That will also be interesting. The other thing I'm very excited about is going to be this Vayne. Propaganda PandÄ is a pretty well-known AD in solo queue. Hasn't really done too much as far as pro teams, as far as I know, but the Vayne skills on Propaganda PandÄ are pretty good. So I'm very excited to see that. I love seeing really good like condemn combos. With the Blood Boil from Nunu, she's going to be able to get those silver bolts off so quickly, or so much more quickly than she already was. It's going to be very interesting. I'm excited to see this. It looks like Teemo is going mid to try to counteract the Poppy, since they know Poppy is going mid as well. The only thing is, if Teemo actually does go mid, it's going to force TF to go top. And TF doesn't really want to go top lane, because then he can't freely gank both lanes with his ultimate. And that's one of the things that makes TF so powerful. So it was either force TF into a bad position to go up against Poppy, or to force him to go top and lose out on a lot of his map presence. So it looks like they are going to force TF to go mid. So this fight should be pretty interesting. I'm actually pretty excited about this. I don't know how this is going to plan out. And Janna is just kind of hanging out. It looks like it's going to be a solo lane Janna. That's always nice to see. She's going to be able to endlessly free farm and a lot of damage going down bot. Actually not too much, but a little bit enough. I really like Draven. Draven is not a champion I see very frequently. A lot of damage going down on Vayne. The spinning axes, the cleanse, and the flash. And it looks like Sona's just sitting there, not really able to do anything. I'm not 100% sure what happened there. Vayne might be coming in for that little extra bit. And Lee Sin might go down from the tower. He is going to go down. And Draven gets a free kill there and might turn around onto Vayne. I don't think he's going to, though. He doesn't really want to risk it. It's very dangerous. If only the jungler for the blue team wasn't counter jungling at that time, he probably could have got a double kill. But great job. This is the thing that separates the high ELO players from the low ELO players. Right when, like, Shen was kind of hovering around this buff, the red buff, waiting for okay, yeah, he was waiting for the Lee Sin to come around, to just kind of checking his red buff. But once he saw the Lee Sin went by, oh, and he gets the taunt off successfully onto the TF, and the TF turns around, throws his cards, is gonna back Shen off just a little bit, but it's not going to be enough to really do too much. The TF didn't actually have to flash, so it's not really the best thing. And Draven actually picking up a kill. Let me go back and see if we can catch that on tape. And this is a full health Vayne, and the spinning axe is just doing so much damage. Great job by Draven, and a ton of damage, throwing Vayne to the side, right into the bush. Very well played by the Draven. And as the odd one would say, that's so Draven. Absolute phenomenal play by the bottom lane right now. Let's see if I can get back up to live here, see what's going on. Not too much, just seems like a little bit more farming. Forcing out the flash from Nunu. Great job by bottom lane. Nunu's now at half health, and Sona saw that ward being placed down, so she is going to pink ward it and prevent their vision in that bush and in river entirely. So now that blue team has their lane pushed a lot. Yeah, it has their lane pushed quite a bit. Oh, and some more flashes coming out. And not quite. Oh, it's so scary. Bottom lane is just full of action right now. Sona blew her flash, but didn't quite do too much with it. Now there's a lot of action from the red team. Red team is going to try to pin in both of them. They do have the vision on there. And Draven is going to get... It looks like Sona's not paying attention once again. And Sona just kills herself so that they don't go after the Draven. A noble sacrifice for the greater good. That is definitely for sure. So when there's 4 people down at bottom, the chances of both of you getting away are pretty much slim to none. So Sona is sitting in this bush, trying to get a kill, possibly almost 2 kills actually. Really kind of stressed then. They're like, okay, if we don't kill the Sona right away, then she may get a double kill, and we might get Draven since there's only 2 chasing him. So they split him up. So they basically, by Sona staying in this bush, forced the Lee Sin and the TF to go towards her and kill her as soon as possible, or else she would have got that double kill. That gave Draven a free escape, which is exactly what they wanted. Now at this point, blue team has both the bottom bush as well as Dragon completely warded up, so that river is almost impossible to gank from. But then again, they do have a TF, and Twisted Fate is extremely good at long distance ganking with his teleport. The range from that is going to be really good. And Draven is he's so good at farming, and a great speed buff by Sona. That speed buff is going to be very valuable for their team again, especially with the Janna as well. So they're going to have, oh, and a great Ice Blast coming out from Nunu, but they're not going to follow up at all on it. And Lee Sin is now coming down towards Dragon, and they do see, yes, blue team is pinging out Lee Sin. They know he's there. They don't want him to be able to gank bottom lane. So great job by the blue team. They're really on top of their map awareness. They know exactly where everybody is. Right when they see him, they're starting to ping. It's a phenomenal play. They're just doing absolutely great. Red team doesn't have that much map presence as far as no wards. They do have some mushrooms. Just started going up on top. Teemo does have 2 down right now. And the retreat ping is now coming off onto the Poppy. I'm not exactly sure why. TF did get the blue buff. That's going to put a lot of presence onto this Poppy. Because now TF doesn't need to spam his blue card. He can spam his red card and his gold card just to throw down those stuns. So it's going to be incredibly scary. I'm not exactly sure how Poppy's going to be able to deal with that. Although Poppy can't really get bursted out. Oh, and a lot of damage. Draven's ult doing a ton of damage. Goes down, and TF teleports bottom, throws down his stun card, and then his other one. Yes. Unfortunately, the pick a card and the wild card is just going to be proving to be too much. That gold card is just too powerful. It's a great stun. But wild card is just an insane amount of burst. It's very unfortunate that Draven wasn't able to pick up a kill. He was really close to picking one up. But with that TF coming down, it's not good. And unfortunately for Poppy, Poppy doesn't have the pushing power that a lot of champions does. So she was able to make him lose. Oh, and a great wall stun by Poppy, being able to do a ridiculous amount of damage to the TF. TF actually missing the wild cards there, but still getting a nice bit of damage onto the Poppy. And now he's coming back in for the gold card. And like I said before, once he has that blue buff, he doesn't need to use his blue cards anymore. All he really has to do... Oh, and Oh, Shen gets taunted out. Oh no, Shen does get the taunt off on the Teemo. Great job, and the slow coming out from Janna. She waited for the flash and then tried to throw a tornado, but it was a little bit too late and not quite in the right direction. Great job by Teemo being able to get out of that. Very unfortunate that Shen got spotted off. He just missed the mushroom, so he didn't walk on it, but he did walk right by it, which gave him vision. And yeah, this is proving to not be that great for Poppy at this point. Poppy does have the starting Philistone, which is relatively common for her, especially early on in the game. She does go through a lot of mana. Lee Sin's going up for a big gank up top. Oh, and Janna jukes it completely, but she does not make it away, and Shen's now coming in. A lot of action going out. He misses the taunt just barely, and now it looks like Janna's gonna have to shield herself and possibly get away. And the great job, TF's ult now coming in, and the wild cards with the ignite are able to pick up Shen. A great job by that end, and now Draven getting a great kill onto Vayne. Let me see if we can get that on camera now. Don't know if Sona's actually going to get a crescendo off here or not. She's not level 6 yet. Draven pushing Vayne back into the middle of the lane. Phenomenal job. Oh, that was just absolute. That stand aside was just perfectly placed. Just shoved her away from the tower, kind of into the middle of the lane, gave him a free ult and a couple auto attacks without even taking any tower damage. Phenomenal job. That's great play. You don't see many Dravens, and when you do see them, especially at this high elo, they're really good. And Poppy just taking so much damage from the red buff and Lee Sin, spamming the auto attacks. Now let's see if we can get to live, and the Ice Blast not coming out from Nunu. It looks like TF is coming down. He's just going to be taking the big Wraith for the extra gold, the experience, the health, the mana. And also assisting in shutting down the jungler on the blue team a little bit. So Shen's going to be a little bit further behind if TF continues to take his Wraiths. So it's not going to be fortunate for Shen. Shen's a little bit behind now. He does only have 37 CS as opposed to Lee Sin's 41. They've ganked about the same, but Lee Sin has quite a bit more success. So I'm interested to see how that's all going to turn out. Later on in the game. Shen scales incredibly well, especially once he gets like an Ionic Spark and a Wit's End. Makes him incredibly fast and strong, powerful side pusher, which is not very common for a tank like that just has single target damage. But then putting him in a team fight, he can just side push for a really long time and then get into a team fight with his ultimate anywhere along the map. Oh, they are going to pinch out the Shen and the Sona. It looks like Shen is trying to run away and gets condemned to the wall, and now, oh, a great great crescendo coming out from Sona, being able to get Nunu right out of his ult instantly, and the Janna teleporting in, getting great amounts of damage, and the Lee Sin is about to die, and a great gold card coming out from the TF, but TF unfortunately stuns the Janna. Now Janna heals everybody up to full, and now Sona just takes way too much damage from the tower. A great dragon kick coming out from Lee Sin, and now TF has to run away with every little bit of his life. He's able to pick up the Janna on the way out. Phenomenal job by TF, picking up a triple kill. Draven does pick up a double kill, but that triple kill on the TF is, oh man. That does two things. It puts a bounty on his head for one. Putting a bounty on his head, basically when you kill him, you get that little bit of extra gold once you kill him. And since he is kind of a high priority / squishy target, he's already going to be targeted pretty high. So I would expect the red team to possibly pick up an Oracle here pretty soon so that he's not the highest priority target. Because what an Oracle does is, if you kill the person that has an Oracle, it's almost like getting a 400 gold advantage over your opposing team. It forces them to waste that 400 gold on the Oracles, and then it gets rid of it, but it puts basically a giant target over that person's head, stating, hey, kill me, because I have an Oracle, and you'll get a lot of benefits by killing me. Plus, you get a ton of map awareness once you have Oracle, or not map awareness, but map presence. And just the wards being everywhere, especially with the mushrooms. If blue team can get an oracles, they'll be able to take out those mushrooms. Although they are everywhere. Oh my gosh, this is the thing that everybody hates about Teemo. Late game, especially if he just stays in his lane, he can set mushrooms everywhere, and there's nothing you can do about it. But Janna has a great... Oh, and another great kill coming out on bottom lane. Let's see if we can catch that. And TF is coming down. He's going to be porting in. And yes, a lot of damage coming out from Draven, picking up the kill onto the Vayne, and now the teleport in from Shen, the stand aside coming out from Draven, and now a lot of damage coming out from the TF, and a clutch heal out from the Sona. The Sona is still chasing, but she's Ice Spot Sister. She's not going to have the movement speed to be able to catch up. Very lucky for Draven, he was able to pick up that Vayne with perfect execution, and the TF also goes down. Unbelievable. A great play, just absolutely great play. This Draven is proving to be a fantastic carry. I can't say that I've ever really seen a good Draven in a game before. Teemo's not really taking any damage from this Janna so far. Okay, so she only has 1 level into Zephyr, 5 into Howling Gale, so she's kind of just... oh yeah, she's going to clear out the wards with her shield, so great job by her. She's still going to take a little bit of damage after that, but she is smart enough to know that she does need to shield it because those stack up after time. Maxing the Howling Gale first enables her to clear almost an entire creep wave with 1 tornado. The more gold she gets later on in the game, the easier it's going to be because she'll have more AP, and that AP is really going to be useful later on. Her ultimate, if she gets a full chain of her ultimate, which is almost impossible for Janna, typically, except in laning phase, it's just not something that she normally does. And Teemo's doing a great job at harassing Janna. There's just absolutely nothing she can do. She tries to shield and run away. Every time she starts her Howling Gale, Teemo just goes in, the stand aside just barely missing the Vayne, and his ultimate is not quite up. He has 7 seconds. He's going to be waiting. I don't know if he's going to throw it out. It doesn't look like he will, but that would have been hilarious if he throws it out and it hits Vayne right in spawn and kills her. That would have been a perfect play. And Lee Sin now coming out through the back. Jen is completely healing herself. And now Lee Sin is in there. She has no ult to get them off, and no Zephyr, no Howling Gale. She doesn't have any spells. There's absolutely nothing she can do. Unfortunate, that was just a really easy tower dive for the red team, but they capitalized on it. They did exactly what they needed to do. They looked for one little opening, and right when it was just unfortunate for Janna that right when Lee Sin got there was that one opening that they needed, and it was just literally a free kill. There was nothing she could have done about that any differently. And it looks like Teemo's now actually going to take this top tower, so it's going to be the second tower of the game. The first tower was mid tower going down to Poppy, but now Teemo has evened out the towers. He's going to continue to keep pushing though, so this is, again, Teemo's just one of those really annoying champions. He can lay mushrooms all around, he can side push pretty hard because he's super fast, attacks fast, has the poisons, just everything he needs is just right there. And right now he's just scouting the map, doing his, Boy Scout thing that Teemo does. He's Captain Teemo and he's on duty, just laying down all those shrooms everywhere. So right now, the top jungle area for the blue team is just a minefield. Janna's going to walk right into the... Oh no. And a lot of damage going out. Unfortunately, it was 5 versus 1. Let's see if we can get a replay on that. Instant replay, and Poppy now coming out. She gets a lot of damage going down. TF is able to get a gold card on her, and now she gets Resonating Strike, or Sonic Wave follow up with the Resonating Strike by the Lee Sin, and Vayne gets the last auto attack for the kill. Phenomenal job by the red team being able to take out a very high priority target like that, and the great Howling Gale coming out doing an insane amount of damage. And Sona and Draven picking it up, and a great ultimate coming out from Draven, actually doing quite a bit of damage to him. Hitting about 3 people on the red team with that ultimate. And now Draven is all by himself. He's going to have to pop his speed buff, and at least Sin jumping over the wall. Great idea. And now TF is now porting in, going to go right where Sona was, and Sona's going to try to go for the kill. The auto attack just didn't do quite enough, and now, oh, very unfortunate, Howling Gale does miss, and Lee Sin comes in with a Sonic Wave. It does go down almost instantly, and an ultimate from Janna coming out, healing the Shen for plenty of life, and the red buff takes out the TF. Perfect. Great recovery by the blue team. It looked like they were going to completely get destroyed on that team fight. They were able to bring it back so strong. And now let's see if we can get it back to life. There's been so much action going on. The game is almost completely even. Blue team is a little bit ahead. They're only ahead by 2,000 gold. But it's only a 1 kill difference. So that means that there's not going to be a whole lot going on. Team fights are going to be pretty much even at this point. Looks like... oh, and a lot of damage coming out onto the Teemo. And... oh no, Poppy does have to run away, gets a little bit of damage, but the mushroom explosion actually goes off, and Draven gets some damage on range on that ult. Just absolutely ridiculous. He's aiming it perfectly every single time. Lee Sin's trying to get the kill onto this Janna. He's going to have to hit a Sonic Wave. He's just going to slow her down. And the Zenith coming out. Oh no. And now she has the Sona for the support. Sona's going to be doing a little bit of damage. Now Draven's coming in, doing a ton of damage with this auto attack. So spinning axes are just so much. And now that TF does not have his... yeah, TF did not have his pick a card at that point. He may come in now with a gold card. And oh, great ward by Shen coming out at the perfect time, right when TF was about to go into that bush. He put it down. And Vayne taking down the bottom tower, as well as Janna and the blue team taking out their first top tower. Such a close game so far. And let's kind of go over the items, see what, well, let's go over the goal first and then see what everyone's going on. It looks like Draven has 11 kills. It's going to be absolutely unstoppable later on in this game. He has 9,000 gold at 21 minutes. It's very difficult to come back from. Teemo has 7,500, which is all extremely good. Attacking so fast with that, the Malady, the Wits End, the Berserker's Greaves, and the Phage. Teemo's going to be incredibly scary late game. He's going to be so annoying as well. You know, the Teemo that everybody loves. And it looks like blue team's going for the dragon again, so they're just taking the dragon control. And red team doesn't really seem to have a problem with that, and I think that might be a little bit of a mistake or a downfall on their side. But right now, Poppy has a Trinity Force, which is basically the core offensive item. And oh no, Sona gets almost caught out by the Teemo. Teemo gets slowed, and Janna gets a full Howling Gale, and now gets a Zephyr. Isn't going to be able to do anything. Great stand aside. Teemo does end up taking out the Sona. Sona does ult, and now a great stun by the Poppy. Oh, and the Howling Gale just barely misses because of the flash. Poppy's still going to be able to catch up to the TF, but he does get a gold card out just in time. He is ignited. The stand aside, pushing him away, and Poppy with the final charge, doing a lot of damage. And Poppy's going back in, has everybody, and Janna pops out Nunu from his ult almost instantly right when he starts it. So very good job on Janna's part. Gets the Howling Gale out on 2 people. Vayne is now slowed and is taking a lot of damage. Tries to go to the tower, but is not there in time. Now Lee Sin's taking a ton of damage from Poppy. Does end up going down to the whole team. Poppy takes tower for a while, but is able to get out of there with just enough health to come out. And Teemo's trying to... yeah, Teemo's going to have to try to hold down the fort for just a little bit. Draven is now coming out. He doesn't have the red buff. But Janna does, and that's all that really matters, I suppose. Those throwing axes. Oh, and TF coming around from the back. He's going to be able to get the... oh, no! The Zephyr and the gold... or the Zephyr and the taunt coming out from Shen almost the same exact time, preventing him from picking up the kill on Draven. They really want to protect that Draven as much as possible. And now Janna's getting absolutely melted by the Teemo. Teemo's running and spinning his darts so fast. Teemo gets a lot of bonus gold from that. How much bonus gold did he get? He got 366 gold extra from killing the Janna, I believe. Oh no. Yeah, that's just So he ended 2 killing sprees, got a bonus 600 gold. Teemo is gonna be even more of a threat than he already is right now. Poppy looks like she's gonna go in very Rambo-like, does try to take out the TF and is able to get the kill onto the TF. And now the Nunu is gonna be taking out his ult, and Vayne picks up the Baron. So great job by Vayne, being able to secure it. The ultimate from Nunu surely helped with that damage, though. That's a lot of damage coming out from Nunu. Poppy and Sona really tried to prevent that Baron from happening. Oh, and a great ultimate by Draven, doing a lot of damage to both Nunu and Vayne, but unfortunately not doing enough. And now red team is picking off Dragon, but unknowns to them, it is gone. So that's great for the blue team, since they're going to be wasting a little bit of time looking for the Dragon. I mean, it's not a lot of time, but every little bit of time helps. Red team also has a huge, massive creep wave going up to their inner bottom tower. So I wonder who's going to go down there to farm that up. Looks like it's going to be Draven and possibly Shen a little bit. But yeah, as far as items go, let's get back to the items. So, the Trinity Force, like I said, is probably the main attack or offensive item for Poppy. So when she gets that, she becomes incredibly scary. That's what makes Poppy really strong. She's so hard to kill because of her passive, and then you throw on the Sheen procs of the Trinity Force, and it's just insane. And then once you get... I'm not sure exactly what she's getting next. She does have a pickaxe as well as a Vamp Scepter. So we'll see what she decides to build that into. And then, of course, she still has the Philistone for that extra bonus gold. Janna still has 3 gold per 10 items. Is working up towards that death cap, or the Zhonya's. I'm not exactly sure yet. I would hope it's a death cap, because they do need that little extra damage, but having some survivability on the team would also be useful. So it is very possible that she will get... oh, and a smite coming out from Lee Sin, taking the big Wraith away from the Shen. Shen does not have near... Oh, actually, Shen and Lee Sin are very close on farm, surprisingly. I thought Shen was quite a bit behind. Shen just does not quite have as much teamfight presence yet. He's almost there. He's only about 4 kills or 4 assists behind. So it's really not all that bad. Staying even with the jungler is all you can really hope for. He did apply a lot of early pressure, was able to do some counter jungling on their red buff. So far Shen doing a wonderful job this game. And now, great crescendo and a taunt coming out. TF does get a gold card, flashes out, and he's going to try to ultimate. Does gold card, throws out his tri cards, and Sona goes down almost instantly. Draven's coming in now with a ton of damage, and Nunu's gonna get the ult, fully charged. Oh, and Poppy also goes down. Draven throwing out as many spinning axes as he can. I don't think Janna's gonna be able to get out of this. The Vayne with her passive and the red buff, it's gonna be very difficult to condemn going into the tower possibly. No, Vayne does have to flash. Oh, and just a wonderful job on Vayne's part. Vayne being able to pick up that kill, and it looks like red team is going really hard with this Baron. They don't want to waste it, so they're just pushing as hard as they can, taking down these towers almost instantly. Look how fast those towers go down. And note, this isn't a 43 minutes into the game. This is 27 minutes of the game. They're taking down towers that fast. It's pretty insane, to be honest. Yeah, and Teemo's attack speed. Let's see what Teemo's attack speed is at right now. Teemo's attack speed is almost maxed at 2.4. And Teemo gets taunted. Great job by the blue team. Let's see if we go back and get a little bit better look on that. Teemo's coming down. He's running so fast. And now Draven's doing a lot of damage. Oh, great taunt. Being able to just lock him down. Just doing so much damage. Tower shots were just proven to be too much. And that's so Draven. Red team is now pinging out the Dragon. Lee Sin's going to go ahead and initiate on the Dragon. Not a big deal this late in the game. This is going to be their first Dragon, though. They were able to pick up Baron. That's a huge improvement. And now, red team has picked up the lead. Yeah, it's just been a great turnaround for the red team so far. It looks like blue team just made a couple mistakes, did a little bit of mispositioning, and it provided red team the window that they needed. They took Baron. and then they were able to pick up the next dragon. It's just been a really phenomenal turnaround for the red team. So great job on the red team. I think they're really high spirits. TF now has a Lich Bane. Having a Lich Bane on TF is almost essential, especially after he gets a death cap. I really expect him to go for a Void Staff next, and I think that's what the Amplifying Tome is going towards. That's when he really gets scary. I mean, he's already scary because he's TF. He can teleport pretty much anywhere, but that Lich Bane is phenomenal because he only has a couple spells, offensive spells that he uses. His other things like passive, and the spells on a pretty long cooldown. But you add the Lich Bane damage from the next auto attack, and his pick a card, since it's an on next attack effect, his gold card is going to be smashing people for like half their health. He does have 417 damage. Like I said, the Lich Bane does equal to your ability power in damage. And it is physical damage, so it kind of almost turns him into a hybrid champion, which is nice. It's good and bad because they can't necessarily build against TF anymore. They can just be like, oh, just build a ton of magic resist. It's because he is going to be doing some physical damage equal to his ability power, which is 400. It's not really anything to laugh about. It's a quarter of Janna's health. It's a lot of damage. It's not going to be good. The only person it's not really all that effective on is Poppy, and that's mainly because of her passive. Vayne is still ripping it apart. Vayne is so strong late game. She's one of the best hyper carries in the game. Draven's actually still doing a ridiculous amount of damage. She does have the Bloodthirster Infinity Edge, and doesn't have a Last Whisper yet, but Janna going in gets Dragon kicked back. Draven was able to put out his ultimate, and the stand aside does not quite hit the Lee Sin, which is unfortunate. They're going to back off for now, but they will be initiating again soon. I can definitely foresee that. Red team doesn't have their Baron anymore, so they're a lot weaker. The only downside about this right now is that Teemo is a much better side pusher than Shen, no matter how you look at it. And TF is throwing out the ult, going in, going to get the ultimate, and stun, throw the gold card onto Draven, and now the taunt onto Vayne goes down, and I think Shen's going to go down really quickly. The true damage and Silver Bolts, and great job by the red team being able to take it down, and a Condemn going down onto a minion. Very unfortunate for Vayne. She kind of missed the person, but it's great that they were able to just kind of walk on top of her. And now Lee Sin's going in. Oh, the stand aside pushing him into the creeps, forcing him to get creep blocked. Oh, and a perfect Howling Gale. The Howling Gale was like it was the Eye of the Tornado. You heard the Eye of the Tiger? Yeah, this is Eye of the Tornado. We ain't messing around anymore. This is Janna. This is Janna time. And Teemo's still side pushing. He hasn't really done too much. He's so low though. He took down one auto attack maybe on the tower. It's probably from creeps though. Oh, and now, Vayne's gonna come out the stand aside, and the Condemn coming out at about the same time. The ultimate coming out from Draven, not gonna be able to hit her. Oh, tries to hit her on the way back, but very unfortunate for him, it doesn't go through. Those spinning axes are proving to be too much. And a flash coming out from Sona. Sona might go down here. No. And the ultimate now coming out from TF, gonna do a huge amount of damage. Sona's gonna go down, going to let the Draven get away as much as possible. I'm not sure if TF's going to be able to... No, he's not. So, the Blood Rush from Draven is just... it doesn't sound like an amazing skill, but it really does help. It's on a 12-second cooldown, increases your movement speed and your attack speed by quite a bit. Now Red Team has almost a wide open Baron once again. It's not good for the blue team. They need to time out their deaths a little bit better, I think. A lot of times, you make ballsy moves. It's fine when Baron's not up when you make a ballsy move, because if it does fail, then you don't have that much to lose. But once Baron is up or it's about to come up, you don't want to die, especially later on in the game when the respawn times are like a minute. Then they have a whole minute with down a person. Luckily, Sona's back up. She's coming in here a little bit late. Baron is he's going down so fast at 2,000, 1,000 dead. almost instant. Once he got to about 3,000, he went down so fast. And Draven's at half health already. But a lot of damage. Janna all by herself, not being able to do much of anything. And a great condemn into the wall coming out, and Shen has to flash. Does get a Regalia's for him, but it's just not going to be enough. And a great Ice Blast coming out onto the Draven. And now I think the TF might be teleporting in. Looks like they're going for the Shen. The Shen's going to go down. He's so close to going down. Yes, and just the tip of the wild card's able to take him down. And let's see what else happened here. So the crescendo coming out from Sona. Great job. And the Ice Blast going on to Poppy. And Poppy's just going down so fast. Even with their passive, it's just not going to prove to be enough. And Vayne is chunking down. Same with Teemo. Those two auto attack champions are just, they're so fast. Their movement speeds are so high when they're chasing people. And their attack speed is just insanely high with the blood boil coming out from Nunu as well. It's looking very grim for the blue team at this point, but red team is just turning the heat on. Once they had the momentum, they just didn't stop. The stand side coming out from the Draven. Draven's going to go in for a little bit of damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They're onto the Nexus now. They took down both the Nexus turrets, and there's not really much of anything that can be done now. Great job by the red team. It wasn't looking so hot for them at the beginning of the game, but after a while, after about 25-27 minutes, they just kicked it up. They were able to pick off 2 kills. Then right after that, they took Baron, and then it just snowballed like so hard. They were 2k gold behind at 27 minutes. Less than 10 minutes after that, they were ahead by 9k. So they did an 11,000 gold swing in 10 minutes or less, which is ridiculous. That's a huge swing of gold. So great job by the red team, perfectly executed later on. They did have a very strong late game team comp with that TF being able to, the TF and the Lee Sin being able to gank very early on in the game, or like mid game early. That really helped them stabilize early game, because without those 2 champions, they probably would have lost. They wouldn't have been able to gain any traction because they were slowly losing, but they were preventing the snowball from snowballing really hard into the blue team's favor with those 2 champions, just because of their high mobility and incredible ganking potential. So overall, just fantastic job by the blue team and the red team. So congratulations to the red team and GG to the blue team. And I will see you guys later. Bye.